Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Canalys Channels Forum 2012. My name's Rachel Lashford, and I head up the Canalys Mobile Department Research. It's wonderful to welcome back our friends in the Channels community and from amongst our vendor sponsors. Can you believe that this is the 5th Canalys Channels Forum? Anybody here been to all 5? We're very pleased this year to have a theme of more, and especially more sponsors, more returning sponsors and more new sponsors, really demonstrating their continued commitment to the channel. So thank you to all of them. Continuing on this theme of more, we really thought we ought to have our own Canalys Moore's Law. We have more sponsors, more theatre sessions, more best practice sessions, more analysis, more awards, and more prizes. We're especially excited about the Channel Partner Awards, which will be announced tomorrow in the final session. I'm going to talk you briefly through what's coming up during the day, and I'll come back to it at the end of the session so that you can signpoint the rest of your 2 days. Coming up will be Steve Brazier talking about the big issues, growth drivers in the smarter mobile enterprise, how you can remain relevant and capture opportunities. Then we have the first of our vendor keynote sessions, HP, Peter Ryan and Eric Cador. Peter really talking about the art of the possible in infrastructure. Eric, very exciting, with the latest roadmap, new products, the performance for the job that needs to be done. So, by now, you should be convinced that mobility is the key driver for change. Employees are bringing their own devices into the workplace, transforming enterprise collaboration, and therefore your own businesses. I'm going to give you a very quick view of the Canalys research that really gives you some major indications and really sets the scene for the metamorphosis that we are seeing. Smartphones grew 46% year on year, reaching 305 million devices in 2012. Pads grew 121%. Whilst desktops, notebooks and netbooks grew just 3% on the first half 2012 compared to the previous first half 11. When we look at the combined totals of smartphones and pads, you can see that that formed more than twice that of the desktop, notebook and netbook market. Canalys estimates that pads, in fact, will overtake desktop shipments by Q2 2013. Of course, it wouldn't be a proper conference if we didn't have a Dilbert cartoon. So there we go, we can crack on with the conference now. Smartphones and pads are being used in the workplace, of course, for collaboration, but they're being used in place of desk phones, in place of soft clients on PCs. Bring your own devices is transforming the way that we work. It's blurring the boundaries between consumer and professional and home and work environments. Canalys estimates, in fact, that just over 50% of smartphones used for work will in fact be personally owned by 2016. Of course, all of these intelligent devices naturally bring with them apps, personally acquired apps for messaging, social networking, productivity, but also enterprises allowing employees access to secure apps for their roles, for their devices, and for their locations. Canalys believes that revenues from apps will reach 67 billion in 2016. And of course, that segues nicely to our own application. So make sure you've downloaded that from ccfmob.com. It will work on any smartphone because it's a web-based app. Of course, smartphones and pads and the emerging ultra-thin notebook segment, all coming into the workforce, represent some challenges for the IT department. And we estimate that the mobile device and security management value will reach over 1 billion by 2016. Of course, all of these devices don't feature fixed Ethernet ports. That means higher densities of devices depending on wireless LAN connectivity. And we forecast that that wireless LAN market will grow 17% to 3.6 billion. In fact, outpacing growth in the overall networking market. Wireless LAN market is traversing all of these key sectors, and that's an important part for you to remember. Canalys is very excited about the fact that we've been tracking these markets for over a decade. It really means that we have become the de facto standard in tracking the mobility market, and it really validates our research as we see these markets collide.